The days of the Atlantic 10 are behind us as the 8-3 Massachusetts Minutemen gear up to play their first ever game in the Mid-American Conference versus one of their toughest foes, the 9-2 Kent State Golden Flashes, at the William D. Mullins Center in Amherst, Massachusetts. Welcome into our broadcast on WMUA Sports on YouTube. I'm Andrew Smaha, joined alongside my partner Jonathan Charlier. And Jonathan, the time where every basketball game matters so much is finally here.
Exactly, Andrew. This is the Minutemen's first game in the Mid-American Conference, and they're playing a school that has been historically dominant in the MAC. Kent State was third in the MAC, going 11-7 in conference play and 24-12 total. So this game matters so much as a newcomer. I'm sure the rest of the conference is tuning into this game.
Well, UMass enters today 8-3 on the year. They're riding a 5-game win streak with their last 2 wins coming against ACC opponents in Boston College and Florida State. Jonathan, what are the keys today for the Minutemen to get things done in their MAC debut?
Minutemen need to keep playing their game. Hard physical defense, moving the ball around the exterior and getting their shooters going early in this game to open up the paint. Kent State starts with Rob Willie Jr. in the paint, a 6'8", 290 center, so the paint is going to be hard to score in. So UMass will need to push the pace before the defense can set up, diversify their offensive approach, and gain rebound, and this game will be winnable.
Well, as for Kent State, they're led by one of the best players in the conference in Delreco Gillespie, scoring 19 points a game, as well as being the nation's leading rebounder. How can Kent State rely on him today?
He's a big body, 6'8", so he's going to be a big presence in the paint. It's going to be a struggle to rebound over him. So UMass has to make sure to gang rebound also, like I said. And UMass has to make sure he doesn't get hot from 3. He either scores 0% from 3 or hits 66% from 3. Like the game, he scored 4 threes. So if UMass doesn't let that part of this game get going, then they'll be able to contain him and make it a winnable game.
Well, we are nearing tip-off here, but we're going to step aside from the national anthem, and we'll be back on the other side here on WMUA on YouTube. We welcome you back to this broadcast of UMass basketball, which is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. We'll take a look at today's starting lineups for both sides, starting with the Kent State Golden Flashes. At the guard position, it's Cian Medley, who's one of the nation's leading passers, averaging 6.4 assists a game, which is good for 17th in the country. Joined alongside Morgan Safford, scoring 16 points a game. Jahari Williamson will play the 3, and the 2 big men in the paint, the 2 cousins, Rob Whaley Jr. and Delreco Gillespie, one of the most lethal backcourts in the Mid-American Conference. And as for the Massachusetts Minutemen, It's the same five they've gone with ever since they took their trip down to the St. Thomas Virgin Islands. They've got Danny Carbuccia, the passing freshman at the point guard position, the lethal shooter Marcus Banks, averaging 18 points a game at the 2, their hound dog Jaden Jinge at the 3, and maybe the complimentary second-best backcourt in the MAC, maybe up there with Kent State's. It's Daniel Hankins-Sanford and Leo Bettiol at the 4 and 5 for the Minutemen. And Jonathan, I mean, this is a matchup of two great starting lineups. I mean, both teams do several different things well. Kent State, every player in that starting lineup is averaging double figures this season. Jinge's got the defense for the Minutemen. Banks has the shooting. They've got the scoring in low. Carbuccia has the passing. It should be a very thrilling game.
I think it's going to be a clash of ideologies and just playing their game. These are two teams that have seen success this season. Whatever they're doing is working. So most of them have to neutralize what the other team is doing and then play theirs and execute.
Well, the Golden Flashes are led by head coach Rob Senderoff in his 15th season at Kent State, has 297 wins all time. He's made 2 NCAA tournament appearances, 1-time regular season champ in the MAC. He's the all-time winningest head coach in Kent State history. Never had a losing season in his 15 years at Kent State. And he's going up against this forever scary, never submittable Frank Martin in his 4th season with the Minutemen. He's got a 55-50 record at UMass, 343 and 251 all-time in his career. And, of course, the very well-known Final Four appearance back in the 2016-17 season, where he also won the National Coach of the Year. So he's the man leading the charge for the Minutemen. Kent State will be wearing their road navy blues with gold lining and trimming with white numbers and lettering. As for the Minutemen, they're in their home whites with the maroon numbers and letters and the maroon trimming along the sides. Tonight's officials will be Andy O'Brien, Josh White, and Greg Langsdorf. And Kent State will be starting off the game going from left to right if you're watching on TV, and UMass from right to left to start things out. Delreco Gillespie will be the one to take the tip for Kent State. Daniel Hankins-Sanford will meet him at midcourt as we are almost set to get underway. The MAC era beginning for the Minutemen here on this Saturday afternoon. Both teams after this will go and play non-conference games. UMass will face a D3 opponent in UMass Boston, while Kent State couldn't be playing a team further from that. They're going to play a top 5 team in the country in Purdue after this one before the MAC gets underway for a second game. But Hankins-Sanford and Gillespie meet at half court. The ball is up in the air and we are underway. Gillespie wins the tip and it falls over to Cian Medley to start us off. Crossing half court, guarded by Carbuccia. Gives it off to Gillespie. Gillespie picks up his dribble at the top of the key, swings it over to Williamson, who will pull a quick trigger 3. That shot no good. And Hankins-Sanford grabs the rebound.
That was a good play to start off the game.
Hankins-Sanford hands off to Jinge on the left wing, over to Hankins-Sanford in the corner. Bettiol on the left block. Draws the double team. Nice behind the back pass to Jaden Jinge, who puts in the layup. And a flashy start for the Minutemen, and they lead 2-0.
Leo Betty looking like Jokic out there with the behind-the-back pass.
And a drive-by Cian Medley working on Carbuccia, who's called for a quick foul.
I'm not sure about that one. He had his hand up for a while there. It looked like he kind of stripped over himself.
Medley hit the deck, wiping off his elbow, it looks like. Might have bruised it up a little bit. But 41 seconds into the game, the Minutemen pick up their first foul. Morgan Safford will inbound for Kent State. It comes into Gillespie, who hands it right back to Safford. Gives it to Medley. Medley up top to Rob Whaley, who sets a screen for Safford. Back to Whaley on the right perimeter. Backing down Hankins-Sanford on the right block now. Draws the double. The shot no good. Gillespie goes for the rebound, but it's tipped out to Safford,
That was
who
really
resets
good
with
defense by
Medley.
DHS. Rob Whaley's huge, but he was able to, go toe-to-toe and not let him get too deep into the paint.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Gillespie's going to pull a 3 from the top of the key. He's got it. Delreco Gillespie starts off Kent State with a 3-pointer. 3-2, Kent State leads. 18:40 to play. Carbuccia picks up his dribble, gives it to Bettiol at the top of the key. Hands off to Marcus Banks. Banks inside to Bettiol, doubled on the right block, picks up his dribble, over to Hankins Sanford, who swings it over to Carbuccia. Back to Hankins Sanford, left wing, he'll pull a three, he's got it. Daniel Hankins Sanford, not known for his three-point shooting, but gets the Minutemen going.
He just going into this game shooting 15% from three-point range, so I know that was a big weight off his shoulders to see that go in early this game.
5-3 Minutemen lead. Del Recco Gillespie switched onto what he thinks is a mismatch on Jaden Jinge, but what a dog Jaden Jinge is. He steals it away from the big man. Gives it up to Carbuccia, who's guarded by Gillespie now. Up top to Jinge. Jinge with all the space, doesn't shoot it. Carbuccia feeds inside to Bettiol. Bettiol, quick hook. No good. Off the rim, and Safford the rebound.
Safford might have been on the line there.
Up ahead, Medley from right wing. He's going to pull a three. That shot no good. And Jaden Jinge grabs the rebound for the Minutemen. Carbuccia ahead to Banks. Banks goes up with a crafty layup, and he is fouled and will go to the free throw line to shoot two.
That's a good way to push the pace. They got the rebound. There was a lot of boxing out by Leonardo Bettiol and the rest of the squad. And Marcus Banks did a good job attacking the paint, staying aggressive, get to the line.
Marcus Banks Jr. on the season, averaging 18.4 points a game. He's 83% from the free throw line on the year. He's coming off of two great performances against the ACC schools as he knocks in the first free throw. He scored 29 against Boston College down in Springfield. Then they went down to Sunrise, Florida. He scored 18 down there and was awarded the National Player of the Week in all of college basketball for the past week. As the second free throw is up, and he puts them both in. So the Minutemen up 7-3 with 17:36 to go.
Yeah, Marcus Banks has been hot. He's been shooting the lights out like he came here to do.
Medley will bring it up for the Golden Flashes. Guarded by Carbuccia, gives off to Gillespie. Bettiol gets a hand in there, pokes it out of bounds, and it will stay with Kent State.
Stafford's going to take the ball out from the sideline.
Gets it into Gillespie, who hands it to Stafford. And a nice backdoor cut by Medley, but draws a double team from Hankins Sanford, and Carbuccia recovers. Medley pulls it back out to the Power U. 10 on the shot clock. Rob Whaley comes with a screen. Medley now has Hankins Sanford on him on the right wing. 5 on the clock. Medley, step back three from way downtown. No good, and Jinge comes soaring in for the defensive rebound.
Soaring in to get that. It's obvious to see that rebound was a priority in the game plan today.
Bettiol has it, posting up the 290-pound senior in Whaley. Bettiol going to work, kicks it to the left corner. Hankins Sanford driving on Medley, pulls him over, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Medley, who cannot believe it. And, I mean, John, he was moving technically, but I've never seen somebody get run over quite like that in a basketball game.
Well, I mean, DHS actually didn't put his shoulder down, so it's a good call. He kind of has to hit the weight room.
Quinn Weidke checks in for the first time for Kent State, replacing Jahari Williamson.
Number 6, he's guarding Carbuccia right now.
Carbuccia has it top of the key. 7-3 UMass lead, 16:40 to play. UMass will reset up top with Banks, guarded by Medley. Gives it off to Bettiol, right wing, who tries to feed a backdoor pass to Banks, and looks like Medley just ran into Bettiol and hit the deck, and they call an offensive foul on Leonardo Bettiol. So the offensive foul comes regardless, and it's a UMass turnover.
It's a physical game already.
UMass with 2 fouls, Kent State also with 2, as Medley will cross half court. 16:30 to play, picks up his dribble, gives it off to Gillespie, top of the key. Gillespie, bounce pass to Weidke, left wing into Whaley. Whaley goes up right at Hankins Sanford, and Jinge with the help defense. And there is a foul on the floor.
Whaley attracting 2 defenders there. The Farmington, Utah native.
Number 2,
scores 10.5 points per game this season. It's definitely been a big part of what Kent State is building for the season.
Hankins Sanford was called for the foul. Whaley at the line knocks in the first free throw. As Kent State now cuts the lead down to 3. Whaley is a transfer from the College of Southern Idaho, a JUCO school. Also spent 2 years at UNLV before landing here at Kent State to play with his cousin, Del Recco Gillespie. He knocks in both free throws to make it a 2-point game. Carbuccia gives it to Banks, around to Hankins Sanford on the left wing. Up top for Bettiol, driving. Bettiol has it poked away by Cian Medley. Weidke comes away with it. Weidke's going to pull a three in transition off the front rim and rolls in.
That's the evolution of the game right there. Fast break three-pointer.
Kent State now has the lead on a little 5-0 run. 8-7 lead. Banks looking for somewhere to go. Nice pass inside to Bettiol. Bettiol goes up over Gillespie and puts it in. Leo Bettiol's on the board for the first time today, and the Minutemen lead 9-8. 15:35 to go.
Now both teams are throwing punches right back at each other.
Gillespie backing down Bettiol, getting a little loose with it. Going right at Bettiol, shoots it, and nobody blocks it. It goes out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by the Minutemen, and the Minutemen bench is furious about the call. But there's nothing they can do about it, as that takes us to the under 16 media timeout. 15:27 to play. UMass lead 9-8. Before we step aside, we'd like to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. We're going to step aside for just a moment, and we'll be right back here on 91.1 WMUA. Well, 15:27 to play. The Minutemen lead 9-8 in their MAC debut. If you're just joining us, I'm Andrew Small. I joined alongside Jonathan Charlier, and we are back underway as Medley will inbound it into Whaley. Up top, Gillespie has it. UMass going to his zone now up top. Medley left wing over to Weidke. Thought about a three, kicks it back over to Medley on the left wing. Bounce pass inside to Gillespie. Goes up over Dimitri Clerk. Can't hit the left hook shot, and Dimitri Clerk grabs the rebound. KJ Parker into the game as well alongside Clerk. Bettiol and Carbuccia on the bench for the Minutemen now. Jaden Jingay hands to Banks. And another offensive foul on the Minutemen on the handoff. They're going to call it on Jaden Jingay. So that'll be his first foul. UMass is fourth. 5 minutes into the game.
Number 54, Omer Hamama.
It's called interesting.
Omer Hamama into the game for Kent State, replacing Cian Medley for the first time. Hamama, the freshman from Israel, swings it over to Weidke up top. Gillespie guarded way out by Clerk. UMass going right into the man-to-man after that zone. And Hamama drives into the lane, misses the layup, and Clerk grabs his second rebound.
That was a comfortable take. Omaha actually played professional ball in Israel with the Mid-Gal High-Mac.
Clerk up top, hands to Jingay on the left wing. Jingay back up top for KJ Parker to the right wing. Hankett Sanford thought about a three. He's going to drive instead. Gets to the MAC logo in the paint, pulls up. His shot off the back rim, no good. Clerk fighting for the offensive rebound. Draws a foul in low. UMass will retain possession.
That's a good play by Deschamps. Everything but the finish. You see why Clerk has, made himself a consistent rotation piece, getting that rebound.
Desmond Briscoe will check in for Rob Whaley Jr. for the first time today. Inbound comes into KJ Parker at about the free throw line. Over to Banks, left corner. His three, no good. Was knocked to the ground, no call. And the rebound falls into the hands of Gillespie. Up ahead, Hamama over to Gillespie. Left wing picks up his dribble. Clark all over him now, but hands it off to Safford. Safford tries getting it over to Gillespie. Clark hounding the grad senior, backing down Clark. Gillespie goes up over him. His shot falls short. Ball's on the ground. Banks dives for it, tries to get it off to Clark, and we're definitely going to have a jump ball here as
This is a dog
several
fight.
bodies on the ground.
They're still on the ground.
UMass has the possession arrow, so it will be Minutemen basketball. But how about Dimitri Clark early on, walling up against one of the conference's best players and playing very solid defense, doing a good job rebounding as well.
Yeah, that was actually amazing defense.
Number 2,
I saw Morgan Safford took a second to get up there. That's something to look. He seems a little disgruntled right now from that dog pile.
Well, Gillespie will head to the bench. Rob Whaley checking right back in for him after all that. And KJ Parker will bring it up for the Minutemen. Parker working on wide key over to Jingay at the left elbow. Jingay working on Safford, kicks it out to Parker. Parker driving on wide key, and he travels with it as he was looking for somewhere to go. And another UMass turnover. They're fourth of the contest already with 13:34 left in the first half.
They're also up to 4 fouls compared to Kent State's 3. I'm sensing a dogfight all day today, Andrew, after that.
Well, we were expecting a lot of offensive scoring, but both teams have gone pretty quiet. Kent State won for their last 7 from the floor. Neither team has scored in over 2 minutes now. As Hamama kicks it, Widekey's going to pull quick trigger 3, no good from the left wing, and Hankin Sanford grabs the rebound. Hankin Sanford hands to Banks. Banks working on Hamama, tries to fit a dangerous bounce pass into Clark. It's poked away by Briscoe. Up ahead, Briscoe rewarded with the layup. Nice pass up ahead.
Beautiful pass by Widekey.
KJ Parker working on Widekey into Hankin Sanford along the right baseline. Working on Whaley. Fadeaway hook shot by Hankin Sanford, in and out. And Safford the rebound. Big pass up ahead to Whaley. Gets Hankin Sanford in the air and goes up and puts it in. 3-point lead for Kent State, 12-9 with 12:40 to go.
Widekey's playing a great point guard. The freshman from Westlake, Ohio, led his team to the state championship. St. Ignatius High School, 2023-2024 season.
Marcus Banks double teamed on the right wing over to Hankin Sanford, top of the key. Into Jaden Jingay, nice paint pass. Jingay to Clark, and Clark's going to throw it down. Much needed bucket for the Minutemen, coming off the assist by Jingay.
We've been seeing some pretty passing this game, Andrew.
11-12 the score. Kent State with the lead. Hamama has it. Swings it over to Whaley, top of the key. Bounce pass into Safford. Good active hands by Jaden Jingay, coming away with the steal. 3-on-3 fast break. Jingay going right at Whaley. Has it poked away. Nice steal by Rob Whaley, walling up on Jingay.
Good way to be physical.
Up ahead, Widekey's 3, no good. And Hankin Sanford grabs his 3rd rebound.
That was a good way to be physical by Jaden, put his shoulder down, but Rob Whaley with the quick hands to stop him from that take.
Parker up top to Hankin Sanford. Dribble handoff to Jingay left wing to the free throw line. Marcus Banks. Step back jumper off the front rim, no good, and Hamama the rebound.
Hamama was face guarding. Marcus Banks wanted to take that challenge, took it right in front of him.
11:20 left in the first half. Safford up top, guarded by Jingay, gives it off to Rob Whaley on the right wing, backing down Hankin Sanford. Whaley, the lefty, going to work, gets to his left hook shot, and they're going to call a hooking foul on Rob Whaley Jr., his first foul and his 2nd turnover. Takes us to the under 12 media timeout. 11:11 left to play. Make a wish, Jonathan, as UMass 11, Kent State 12. And we'll step aside, but before we do that, we want to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. And we thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. Well, stick with us. We'll be right back here on 91.1 WMUA. welcome back to UMass basketball on WMUA. 11-11 left to play in the first half. And Jonathan, we were expecting possibly a shootout today. Kent State, second leading scoring team in the country, 96.6 points a game, but both teams have been pretty solid defensively.
Yeah, defense has been the name of the game today. Both teams just finished without trying to just not really finding that many openings. And then it's been a well-balanced attack by both teams. Each team has a couple players with 3 or 2 points. I'm sure both coaches looking for that spark plug to really get the team going.
The UMass 5 on the floor as Carbuccia has it is Carbuccia, Parker, Wimbley, Bettiol, and Dimitri Clerk. As Clerk is backing down Entenmann into the game for the first time for Kent State. Clerk goes up, his layup no good. Fight for the rebound, Dwayne Wimbley has it. And a foul on Kent State on the rebound. Nice job by the freshman Wimbley getting in there. The call goes against Rayvon Griffith, who's into the game for the first time for the Golden Flashes.
And the Kent State likes to go deep into their bench.
The Kent State 5 out there is Griffith, Medley, Whaley, Entenmann, and Williamson. As Carbuccia has it, gives it over to Parker at the free throw line. Feeds it into Clerk on the left block. Draws a double team from Griffith, who pokes it away from Clerk, but out of bounds. And UMass will keep possession with 11 on the shot clock.
Clerk went for the same take, but Rayvon Griffith was there to poke the ball out.
Carbuccia will be the inbounder from the baseline. Gets it into Parker in the corner, and Medley pokes it out of bounds. It'll stay with UMass, not even a second coming off the clock. And now DJ Wimbley will be the inbounder for UMass from the corner, basically. Wimbley gets it into Carbuccia, guarded by Williamson. Gets a screen from Bettiol. Nice hedge by Whaley. Over to Wimbley, left wing. He's going to pull a three. That shot not even close off the front rim. And Williamson the rebound. Williamson up ahead. Hands it off to Medley. Medley gets a screen from Griffith. The switch on to Wimbley. A screen from Entenmann as well. Wimbley sticking with him to the corner to Griffith. Up top to the right wing for Whaley. Guarded by Bettiol. 5 on the shot clock. He's going to back down Bettiol. Spins, trying to get Bettiol in the air. He's going to fade away with 1 on the clock and puts it in. Nice shot by Rob Whaley. He's up to 6 points, the game's leader.
The big man directed the traffic to the corner man to get out the way. Took it himself.
Bettiol to Wimbley, and Wimbley steps out of bounds on the sideline. That'll be UMass's 7th turnover. As they trail by 3, Kent State will get the ball back with 9:50 to go.
Coach Frank Martis, surprisingly very calm throughout all this. UMass struggled 3 times to get the ball inbounded. A turnover, step on the line. They're just playing pretty sloppy.
Medley bringing up the floor. Gets a screen from Griffith. The switch on to Wimbley. Entenmann gives him the screen once again. Wimbley recovering. Medley, fadeaway jumper from the free throw line, knocks it in. Everything going Kent State's way in the last few minutes. They lead by 5. Carbuccia up top for Bettiol. Left wing Wimbley. Wimbley hands to KJ Parker. Parker still looking to get on the board today, has yet to attempt a shot. Up top for Carbuccia. Back around to Wimbley on the right wing. To the right elbow for Bettiol, draws a double team. To Carbuccia, left wing, can't handle the pass from Bettiol, but sticks with it. 5 on the shot clock. Bettiol has it left block to the corner. Wimbley's wide open for 3. His shot no good. And the struggles continue for the freshman, DJ Wimbley. Up ahead, Entenmann can't handle the pass from Medley. A bit too hot. It goes out of bounds, and UMass gets bailed out, and we'll get possession back.
Number 23, Enrico Gillespie into the game for Kent State.
Since the last time.
For UMass, number 1, Daniel Hankins.
8:56 to play in the first half. Daniel Hankins Sanford will check back in. Dimitri Clerk will head to the bench after a solid 7 minutes played. And Carbuccia will dribble it up for the Minutemen. Guarded by Williamson, over to Wimbley on the right wing. To Hankins Sanford up top, around to Carbuccia on the left wing. Good hedge by Entenmann, preventing Carbuccia from getting in. Carbuccia bounce pass to Bettiol in low. And a foul on the floor called against Kent State. It looks like they're going to give this to Williamson. Got a hand in there, and they will. So that'll be Williamson's 2nd personal of the first half in just 5 minutes played.
like I predicted, the paint is really clogged. It's really hard for UMass
Number
to get any
24,
buckets in the
Marcus
paint right
Bates.
now. So they're going to have to
And
start
number 4, Isaiah
finding
Placid
some
in
ways
the
to
game
get
for
their
UMass.
three-point shooters open.
Replacing
Isaiah Placid is
Jaden
in the
Wimbley.
game. That might get them open, get them
And
going on
JJ
the
Parker.
offensive side.
Banks and Placid just checked in for Parker and Wimbley. Placid playing his first game in quite some time. He missed the last 4 games to an unknown injury that was never disclosed. But Carbuccia will inbound, gets it into Bettiol, and Bettiol somehow sends Gillespie to the floor, tries to kick a pass up top, dangerous to Carbuccia, who has it stolen away by Medley. Medley one-on-one with Carbuccia, goes up and puts it in.
That was a very athletic take by Sion Medley. Kind of floated in the air right there.
6-0 run for Kent State. Placid inside. Nice pass to Hankins Sanford, floating it over a couple bodies. And DHS puts it in. He's up to 5 points and breaks the 6-0 run for Kent State. So UMass down by 5. Gillespie working on Hankins Sanford inside. His floater no good. Grabs his own miss. He puts it up no good again. And Bettiol the rebound. Boy, UMass is getting lucky right now. Gillespie's not getting any of these bunnies to fall.
Yeah, I want to point out that there was 4 white jerseys there to get that rebound. That's what we're talking about good gang rebounding, to get balls over these huge 6'8" players.
Placid just missed a deep mid-ranger. Kent State grabbed the rebound. Williamson on the other side, guarded by Carbuccia, picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Gillespie. Gillespie gives off to Medley, left wing, guarded by Banks. Medley thought about a step-back 3, but thinks better. Tries to get it to Entenman, has it poked away to the top of the key. Medley's got it. 5 on the clock. Crowd wanted a backcourt violation. They don't get it. Medley's going to force one up with 2. Shot no good. Gillespie the rebound. Back out to Griffith. And around to Williamson.
And after a great defensive position like that, you got to box out and go back on offense. You can't give him another chance.
Bettiol pokes it away from Gillespie, who is thinking about a fadeaway. But it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Leo Bettiol, which sends us to the under-8 media timeout. 7-11 left to play in the first half. 18-13, the Kent State Golden Flashes lead the Massachusetts Minutemen. And we'll step aside and be right back on the other side of the timeout here on 91.1 WMUA. We welcome you back here inside the Mullins Center. Kent State up by 5 at the under-8 media timeout. And Jonathan, I mean, a game we were expecting to be very high scoring. UMass hasn't been able to find their rhythm on offense, and even Kent State on the offensive side of the floor has been a bit sloppy at times, but they're still piecing it together.
Yeah, it's just a really defensive game. A lot of shots are not going in. UMass has only attempted 4 threes, and only one of them has went in so far. Now it's the DHS 3 to open the game. Can't say that took a couple more, 2 for 8 for 3, but both teams are just not really flowing very effectively and not just clicking at the highest level.
And Halamont finds an open Briscoe on the inbound from the baseline, and a free 2 points for the Minutemen. Briscoe puts it in for his first points of the game, and Kent State up by 7.
I'm noticing the benefit of Kent State is they have a really deep roster. I mean, the second unit has been Isaiah Placid for 3.
Placid in off the bench, a confident 3 on the pass from Carbuccia, puts it in, and UMass, just like that, down by 4 with their second 3 of the day. Safford double-teamed left wing by Banks and Bettiol. Bettiol retreats to guard Gillespie. Gillespie from the elbow. His shot no good. Tipped out by Briscoe. Another offensive rebound for Kent State, their 5th of the game. From way downtown, Widekey's got the 3.
That's his second 3. He's now shooting 2 for 4.
23-16. Placid up ahead. Gets it from Bettiol. Over to the right corner for Hankin Sanford. Hankin Sanford working on Briscoe. Backing him down on the right block. Spins, kicks it out to Banks. Banks to Carbuccia left wing. Carbuccia drives. Kicks out. Hankin Sanford open on the perimeter for 3. His shot no good. Placid fighting for the offensive rebound. Bodies hit the deck. And surely a foul on Kent State as Placid was tripped up by Morgan Safford. And that'll be Kent State's 7th foul, which should send Placid to the line.
Their bodies were like tangled up there. I thought someone was about to get hurt.
Yeah, the officials are going to head to the monitor to look for maybe possible flagrant intent. It didn't seem like there was anything there. There's just 2 bodies that got tangled. And
there was a third one, too. 2 UMass defenders. It looked like the Kent State player got sandwiched.
The call on the floor is a
2 players that were clearly in the mix were Placid. Oh, wow, they called the foul on Carbuccia. Maybe they called a push on Carbuccia at the end of the play. I actually did not see that in the moment. I saw Placid and Safford hit the deck, get tangled up together. I had no clue Carbuccia was even in the mix. That's what the refs will be reviewing. So this goes against the Minutemen. I thought this was going to be a guaranteed foul on Kent State and a 1-and-1 for Placid with maybe some flagrant free throws coming, but I guess it might go the other way on the Minutemen. So with that foul on Carbuccia, that'll be his 2nd foul. It is a confirmed foul on him, and now it's just to see if there will be flagrant intent. Tough break for the Minutemen and what should have been another possession gained on the Placid rebound.
Remember, he was right behind Safford, kind of trying to go for the ball. So it might be over the back. I don't think it's late.
Well, the refs didn't take much time to review that. They're now explaining to the coaches what's going on. And we'll see what they come away with. Oh, they do change the call. They switch it on to Safford, which felt like the right call. Again, I had no clue Carbuccia was even in the mix on that. So they flip the call onto Morgan Safford, who will get his 1st foul. And that keeps Carbuccia from getting his 2nd. So big for the Minutemen in that regard as well. And I assume this will be Isaiah Placid going to the line for a 1-and-1.
If you're Minutemen, you're down 7 right now. Any call big side.
Well, I take that back. Both Placid and Carbuccia, who are in the mix, are now on the bench. And KJ Parker and Jingay have checked in for them. And the ref noticed it and is calling somebody back on. He's calling Isaiah Placid, and Jaden Jingay will head back to the bench while Placid will go to the line to shoot the free throws. So what a wild sequence this has been, but Isaiah Placid, the grad senior from Hampton, Georgia, will head to the line for a 1-and-1. On the season, he's just 62% from the line, but that's a pretty small sample. The front end of the 1-and-1 is good. And he's up to 4 points on the day. He spent 2 seasons at Eckerd College, also 2 years at Kankakee Community College. Over half his shot attempts last season were threes, 251 of his 450 shot attempts. And his 2nd free throw rolls around the rim, no good. And the rebound by Gillespie is 5th for the nation's leading rebounder. So UMass down by 6, 5:50 to go. Gillespie over to Hamama. Guarded by Banks along the left baseline, swings it out to Widekey. Widekey guarded by Parker. Dribbling around, working on him with 10 on the clock. He picks up his dribble. Looking for somewhere to go, gets it off to Safford on the right wing. Backing down Isaiah Placid. 3 on the clock. Safford's going to fade away from the free throw line. He puts it in. Sky-high arch.
And that's not the first time that Kent State has gone to that shot. UMass is playing really tough defense, but Kent State's just able to get these little fadeaway shots.
Placid feeling himself, goes to a fadeaway jumper, no good off the front rim, and the rebound tipped out to Safford. Kent State up by 8. Hamama to Gillespie, top of the key, thought about a three, swings it over to Safford, and it ends up back with Hamama. Gets a screen from Gillespie. Over to the free throw line for Briscoe. Up top, another deep three for Weidke, and Weidke's feeling himself today. His third three of the first half gives Kent State a double-digit lead, 28-17 with 4:50 to go.
This freshman is wildly confident. He's taking it from deep, too, and looking at his bench and celebrating every time he hits a three.
Bettiol, left block, backing down Gillespie. No double comes this time. Bettiol goes up with the right hook and puts it in. The first time they don't double Bettiol on the day, the big Italian, and he puts it in. Back down to single digits, 28-19. Hamama bringing it up across the power U, guarded by Banks. We'll get a screen from Briscoe. Doesn't use it, goes the other way, swings it around. Weidke, step back three. Off the backboard, no good. Fight for the rebound on the ground. Bettiol has it, gets it off to Marcus Banks. And UMass with a sigh of relief. Parker the other way. Almost loses it out of bounds, but sticks with it and gives it off to Bettiol. Bettiol driving on Gillespie, using his big body to get in the paint. His shot rolls around the rim, no good from the right block.
That shot at every part of the rim, but did not go in.
Hamama driving on Banks, and a call away from the ball by the referee. No specification as to what just happened. Oh, they're going to say there's just a wet spot on the floor that needs to be cleaned up, I think. I don't know what's going on here. He didn't signal.
Now, the entire
there.
time UMass was on offense, they were trying to figure out the spot that was dirty or something. I guess they didn't get it cleaned up by the time they went back on defense, so they had to cause a timeout.
Well, they'll wipe down the floor. That takes us to the under 4 media timeout. 3:49 to play in the first half. Kent State having their way with the Minutemen right now, 28-19. But before we step aside, we wanted to tell you one more time that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client who won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestress-free.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. 3:49 left to play. We're going to step aside and be back on the other side of the under 4 media timeout. Well, welcome back to 91.1 WMUA. 28-19, Kent State leading the Minutemen with 3:49 to play in the first half, Jonathan.
Leading scorer, Quinn Weidke, 3 threes, 2 assists. Just 9 minutes. He's been a very integral part of what Kent State is doing today. Isaiah Placidas came in the game and gave UMass a bit of a scoring spark too, but big players like Marcus Banks is still looking for his first field goal in this game.
Medley will be the inbounder from the baseline, guarded by Bettiol. UMass going to his zone. Weidke driving in, goes right at Bettiol, and his shot kisses in off the glass. Everything is falling for the freshman right now. 11 points in the game's leading scorer.
Euro to a kiss in the glass. Yes, this freshman's confident.
Jingay, left wing, gives off to Bettiol on the left block. Draws the double. Gives it off to Banks on the left wing. Banks hounded by Medley, draws a double team from Whaley, and a foul on Whaley, who is trying to draw the jump ball. Grabs the arm of Banks.
Whaley was flabbergasted with that call. absolutely distraught.
Whaley gets his second foul, and UMass in the bonus. Banks will head to the line for a 1-and-1.
And this game is starting to blow up a little bit for the Minutemen right now. The score is 30-19. And I can't lie, for the last couple of minutes, Kent State, the Golden Flashes have looked like the better team.
They've made a lot of tough shots on the offensive side of the floor, while UMass can't seem to get much of their perimeter game going with their best players. But Banks knocks in the first free throw, so he's up to 3 points, all from the free throw line so far. Like you mentioned earlier, no field goals yet on the day, just 0 for 2. As KJ Parker, their other perimeter threat, has yet to even attempt a shot today. As Banks' second free throw also falls to make it a 9-point game, 30-21.
And the other point guard, Daniel Carbusha, hasn't attempted a shot too. There's just a lot of non-aggression, a lot of passiveness going on with the Minutemen.
UMass going to a 1-2-2 press that they weren't too aggressive on, as Kent State has no problem breaking it. Medley, left wing, Griffith a three, and Griffith's got it. Everything's falling for Kent State. 5 of their last 6 from the floor, and they've got a 12-point lead. Parker over to Hankins Sanford on the right baseline. Hands to Parker, top of the key. Pump fakes a 3. Swings it over to Hankins Sanford, who gets it into Bettiall inside. Bettiall drawing a double once again. Jingay's open on the right perimeter for 3. Jingay's 3 is good. Boy, did Jaden Jingay need that.
Did the Minutemen need that in general? To keep it under double digits, 9-point game, 33-24 right now.
Jingay, a 16% three-point shooter coming into today. Knocks his first one in. Wide key from way downtown. Shot that one from Jimmer range. Knocks it off the front rim, and UMass has it again. Marcus Banks. Step back 3. Looking to get hot. His shot off the rim, no good. And Gillespie grabs his 6th rebound.
I want to know the kind of confidence they're feeding this freshman to be taking these type of shots in their first year as a collegiate player.
Medley draws a smart foul against Bettiall, who picks up his second foul, was taking advantage of Bettiall, who was chasing after him. And Bettiall, with his 2 fouls, will head to the bench for Dimitri Clerk. So 33-24 with 2:13 in the first half. And something I feel like you don't see too often. Bettiall picks up a bad foul, and Frank Martin gives him an applause on the way to the bench. And a substitution for Kent State. Desmond Briscoe in for Whaley.
It seems Frank Martin's just having a whole different coaching style in this game. He's just not really lashing out at his players. Maybe that's what's been making them, succeed and play better in the ACC games that they have. I mean, Frank Martin did say he wants to know how to teach and how to coach his players. So maybe he's found the right tone to get to these players.
Well, Gillespie goes up with the right hook over Clark. Missed the first time, got his own miss and put it in. So Gillespie hounding the glass, 7 boards today. Gets a much-needed 2 for himself, and Kent State back up 11. Banks to Hankins Sanford in the corner. Hankins Sanford left his change behind. He lost it out of bounds, but Kent State really wants this call, but UMass will gain possession. Briscoe adamant that there's some sort of review, and they're going to take a look at it.
Rob Centeroff is going to review it. It looks like the Golden Flash player hit it first, but it may have hit his foot.
Briscoe was very adamant that ball went off of Hankins Sanford. I couldn't quite tell from our angle.
UMass basketball.
It happened so quick.
Kent State will call their first
Important to note that UMass did have the call on the floor. I don't think we'll see any kind of replay in here to give you any more information on it, but it will be a timeout called by Kent State to use their challenge on this play. That's a new rule in college basketball. Each coach gets 1 challenge to use for situations like this. And the refs are stepping away from the monitor pretty quickly, which makes me think that this is going to be Kent State ball. They came away with a quick decision. And we'll see based on the reaction from the Kent State bench. And it's overturned. Kent State will have the basketball.
If I was Centeroff, I would not challenge this early on in the game unless I was 100% honest.
Well, that'll count as UMass's 9th turnover of the game, and it won't count as a timeout used for Kent State. That will be reinstated, so still 4 timeouts for both Frank Martin and Senderoff.
Is it like an NBA rule to get their challenge back? Right?
I'm not sure about that. I have to look into that more. This new rule is something I wasn't even made aware of until the season had started. But Medley Swings it over. Weidke's open in the left corner. Shoots it and turned to the UMass bench to taunt in front of them the moment he shot it, and he missed it. Clark grabbed the rebound and was fouled and will head to the free throw line. He tried to pull a Steph Curry with the quick turnaround, and it's always embarrassing when you end up missing it in the end.
It's just the way that Old Fashioned is playing. They're having more fun, it looks like. Like Weidke's generally just having
Number 25,
playing kind of like street ball right here, taunting and doing what you want. You don't see that much taunting as a Minutemen player, so it's different play styles I'm noticing.
Well, Dimitri Clark will head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1, not who UMass really wants to send to the line. A 47% free throw shooter on the year. The front end is no good, but it's tipped out by Hankin Sanford back to Clark, and UMass keeps possession. Banks to Hankin Sanford. That's a deep 2. His foot was on the line, no good. And Gillespie with yet another rebound, number 8 on the day for the nation's leader.
And I guess you're thinking, like, are UMass just not passing enough? Because KJ Parker was there. If you're Daniel Hankin Sanford, do you want to pass the ball and get it to you? Just knock down 40% shooter.
Gillespie, fades away from Hankin Sanford. Shot no good. Clark fouled on the rebound once again by Safford. That's Safford's second, and Clark, unfortunately for the Minutemen, will go back down to the free throw line with a minute left in the first half.
Number 11,
It's honestly not the worst idea. I remember a few years ago, I think it was a Steve Nash-led Nets team that was, or Spurs, Greg Popovich. They kept fouling Dwight Howard on purpose to put him at the line. As similar situation, Clark gets 2 shots here. He missed the first one. And, I mean, if you're Rob Senderoff, you take note of this.
There's another team that did that, too. Definitely a good move.
Clark's second free throw also no good, so 0 for 3 from the line. And UMass now 5 for 9 on the day. And Medley will call their use it or lose it timeout with 54.4 seconds left in the first half with Kent State up 35-24. I believe this will be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. And Jonathan, you mentioned it earlier. It just seems like Kent State's playing with more energy. They're having more fun on the floor than UMass is, who UMass, quite frankly, can't seem to find their identity on the offensive side of the floor today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole atmosphere right now in the monster just looks sad. I mean, the crowd is silent. The players are dragging their feet back to the sidelines. It's just nothing's really working. And there's just a little disconnect right now. With 54 seconds left in the game, KJ Parker does not have a shot attempt.
This is a very good crowd turnout for UMass, too. There's no students here on campus anymore as everyone's head home for winter break. But aside from there being no students, the general crowd turnout has been really good today.
But they're quiet.
But nothing to cheer about yet today. They haven't had much. As Medley will get the ball off the inbound. Safford has it. Back to Medley. UMass going to a 3-2 zone. Into Gillespie. He travels with it. And that's about as obvious as a call as you get. Put the ball on the floor one time, getting inside, and then shuffled his feet a bit. So fifth Kent State turnover of the day gives UMass the ball back.
He took a quick trip to Africa right there.
46 seconds left in the first half. KJ Parker will bring the ball up. Gets a screen from Banks. Parker over to Hankin Sanford, left block, driving on Briscoe. Goes to a fadeaway hook shot, has it blocked by Briscoe. Weidke comes away with the rebound. Just not a great shot attempt by Hankin Sanford when you're down by 11. Medley has it now. 1 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. We'll see if Kent State chooses to hold for the final shot. Medley will pull it out with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Gets a screen from Gillespie. Driving in. Kicks it out to Weidke. Weidke to Safford, who will shoot a step-back 3. Made sure to go find the perimeter. His shot no good. Long rebound comes back to Safford. He's going to pull with 1 on the clock. Off the front rim, no good. And that will take us to the half as Kent State dominating the Minutemen in the first half, 35-24 in the first game of conference play for both teams, of course. UMass's first time playing in the MAC, and it's been a rude awakening for them, Jonathan.
Yeah, like we said earlier, it was Minutemen's first game in the MAC, and like you said, it's a rude awakening. sour first half for the Minutemen. Not much was working. Only 24 points in the entire half. They need something. I don't know what Coach Martin can cook out in the locker room to get his team going. Maybe go deeper in his bench, pick out like a Donovan Brown or something to give a little spark plug, something to light a fire under their butts because they're playing hard, but they're playing stiff and they're playing erratically, making bad turnovers. They're just not playing like a team that scored 103 points on Florida State's a couple years ago.
Welcome to the court.
I wasn't in Florida to win that game, but I don't see it. So you guys are gonna have to find something to get them going.
Well, some numbers from the first half. Quinn Widekey, the freshman, is the leading scorer for Kent State, 11 points with 3 threes. As Gillespie's also got 5 points to go with 9 rebounds. They've kept him in check, though, 2 for 10 from the floor. As for the Minutemen, Daniel Hankins-Sanford, Jaden Jingay, and Isaiah Placid, the leading scorers. Hankins-Sanford, Jingay with 5 apiece, and then Placid and a couple others with 4. But UMass going to need some spark. They were about 3 minutes scoreless to end the half.
UMass drafted or recruited all these three-point shooters, but they finished it. The half, 9 3-point shots taken.
We'll see if UMass can turn it on in the second half. But we'll step aside for now, and we'll be back on the other side here on 91.1 WMUA.
Welcome back. I am Jonathan Charlier, joined with Andrew Samaha. We are watching UMass Minutemen take on the Kent State Golden Flashes here December 20th. And UMass is down 35-24 right now in a game that we both thought was going to be a high-scoring game. And what have you seen in this game?
Well, Kent State's clearly had a great scouting report on the Minutemen so far. They're making sure that UMass's two perimeter scorers, Marcus Banks and KJ Parker, are forcing the ball out of their hands. And when the ball's been out of their hands, UMass has had no idea what to do. Daniel Haken-Sanford has taken a couple questionable shots because he feels like he's probably got to force up a few ones today. And Leo Bettiol's been going to work in the paint, but he got into some foul trouble and had to sit in the first half. And we'll see where they can get scoring from. Danny Carbuccio is quiet. He's more of a passer anyways, but you'd like to see him get more aggressive for the Minutemen. And, I mean, as for Kent State, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're playing with so much life and energy right now, and they're bullying around the Minutemen right now on the offensive side of the glass. On defense in general, forcing 9 turnovers against the Minutemen in the first half, and they're out-rebounding them. They're doing everything better right now than the Minutemen.
That's an excellent observation, Andrew. Like you said, Minutemen are having players that usually are hot, like Marcus Banks and KJ Parker, not, helping on the offensive side. Wow, Kent State has one of the deeper benches I've seen in a while. I mean, they had a whole football or a whole hockey type lineup change, and the leading scorer, Quinn Widekey, 11 points. Everything's going his way right now.
Yeah, Quinn Widekey, he's not even known for being this high level of a scorer. He's got good numbers on the year. He shoots 47% from three, but just 9 points a game, and already today in the first half surpassed it.
Yeah, and he had the two early full court passes to get him going. He had a lot of confidence. UMass now about to be the start the second half. Melly about to take the ball off from the side. There we go. Melly taking the ball up, guarded by Carbuccio. Rob Whaley Jr. patrolling and looking. Sanford trying to get the ball to Gillespie. Intercepted by Leonardo Berrio. Now turnover. Carbuccio taking the ball up. Strong take, but Rob Whaley Jr. with the quick hands to get caught the turnover. Now Medley. Kenny Safford in the middle, guarded by Jaden Njenge. UMass defense is doing a good job right now. There's not much. Now, if you're UMass, you're happy with that possession to force Rob Willie Jr. for that very contested three.
UMass has been playing great on defense for the first 28 seconds, and Kent State's been hitting a lot of miracle shots on them, but that time they played the whole possession well.
And Leonardo Berrio with a great step through to get UMass on the scoreboard early in the second half. Safford with the air ball, and the crowd starting to show a little life.
Yeah, that's what the crowd needs to get into this game. That air ball, the bucket into an air ball for UMass to make it a 9-point game. And now UMass can play with some energy and try and get this crowd behind them that's been pretty dormant to this point of the game.
Because even if the first half wasn't as great for UMass, still a close game. DHS with the take, misses it, but taps it back in. Now it's a 7-point game, 35-28. Okay. Medley on the line. Another turnover.
UMass, as I said last time, the crowd's starting to come to life now. A little 4-0 run to start the half. Big turnover there, and now they're speeding ahead the other way.
A good shovel pass by Marcus Banks. DHS almost loses it. A great bump and layup attempt by Leonardo Berrio. He misses it, but he will go to the free throw line. Now UMass, whatever Frank Martin told him in the locker room, UMass is coming off hot.
That's his first. Team's first.
Leo Bedial, very hot and cold shooter from the free throw line this year. 66% from the line is the big Italian transfer from Abilene Christian. They need these free throws right now.
The first one rolls up and in.
Number 6, Quinn Weinke into the game for Kent State.
Quinn Weinke back into the game for Jahari Williamson. He was working for them in the first half, so I can see why Sender Off will have the freshman come back into the game early on. Leonardo Bedio missed the second free throw, and DHS hustling for the rebound, but unfortunately stepped out on the line.
Well, UMass needs their free throws today. As always, poor free throw shooting, 6 for 11 on the day. And that miss doesn't help you when you're trying to search for momentum. It really kills your momentum when you miss free throws.
Gillespie in the paint with a hook shot over Leonardo Bedio. 37-29 with 17:40 left. Marcus Banks at the wing. Pump, spin. Ooh, air ball. Another football pass to Rob Whaley Jr. Spin move into the layup, but it was just a little too short. Now Daniel Hankins Sanford taking the ball up. Screen, get it out to Carbuccia. Carbuccia patrolling, observing. Pass to Marcus Bank. Pump, midi, just a little too strong.
Double technical call on the way down the floor. It looks like they get Whaley and Bedial. Must have been some words being exchanged though, going down the other way. Both guys getting called for a tech.
This is the coaching difference. Bedial was immediately out the game for Dimitri Clerk. Rob Whaley still in. Center off is not getting
Bedial, that's his third foul. Whaley also getting his third, but Kent State with the lead, trying to hold it down on them, and Frank Martin playing the long game.
Safford passing the ball in. Gillespie, Safford. Medley patrolling. Hesitation. Back out to Rob Whaley Jr. Safford guarded by MJ Gay. Gillespie guarded by Dimitri Clerk. Step through. Nifty footwork into the post score by Gillespie. Scores now 29-39. Kent State in the lead.
Gillespie was held in check in the first half in terms of scoring, just 5 points on 2 of 10 from the floor, but coming out 2 for 2 to start the half, getting to work in the paint, getting to his spots.
Carbuccia with his first field goal attempt, just a little short, and Safford taking the ball up. Pull up, 3-point shot. Like I said earlier, this is the evolution of the game. A fast break 3-point, a second fast break 3-point attempt, and make by the Kent State Golden Flashers. And like that, it's going to be an under 16 immediate timeout.
30 seconds.
Frank Martin,
UMass.
a 7-0 run for Kent State. UMass came out with life to start the second half, and it's all been taken away. Kent State having their way once again in the last minute 24. 7-0 run, and just the dagger on top of it all. Safford bringing it down the other way and burying the 3 in transition. Kent State's been doing that a lot today. They've had numbers on the fast break, and they've chosen to go to the 3-point shot, and that's twice now it's worked out for them. Wide key the first time, and now Safford with a big field goal for himself up to 5 points, and UMass down by 13. They're in search of some answers right now. Marcus Banks is cold, and he had a wide-open baseline jumper that, I mean, any other day Marcus Banks is knocking that down, but he can't seem to figure it out today. 0 for 5 from the floor. He just needs to see one go in.
Yeah, Marcus Banks is not finding a shot today. Like you said, yeah, this is the coaching difference to let your players take those fast break 3-pointers, because I'm sure a Frank Martin player who would take that shot would go see the bench immediately.
There we go, to the left.
They're doing the full court putt on the floor right now, and he just missed that one wide to the right. I've only ever seen that shot made one time. It was 2 years ago, I believe, during a UMass and South Florida was the game. And it was a college student that stepped up and nailed the full court putt, and he was paid out his $10,000 by Crump and Fox. So congrats to that kid out there.
You know, Andrew,
wherever he is.
I truthfully believe that if I was presented with the opportunity to hit this full court putt, I would do it immediately on the first try.
You think so? You think first try? Have you ever played golf before?
I have played golf.
Oh, yeah? How's your putt game?
My putt game is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing?
And my driver. I once hit a hole in one.
Oh, yeah?
And then I did it on the next field. Did you hear that? That's my golf laugh, Andrew. I'm a golfer.
Your golf laugh? That's a new one. I have not heard that before.
Now the timeout's over and both teams already going into the middle, get ready to play. UMass is coming out with Marcus Bank, Carbuccia, Daniel Hanky Sanford, Dimitri Kirk, Dane Jenge. The Golden Flash is going with Quinn Whitkey, Rob Whaley Jr., Delefsey, Stafford, and Medley. Carbuccia taking the ball up over to Njenge. Try to get it down to DHS, but Stafford is there to kick the ball.
UMass ball.
UMass desperately in need of some juice right now. Kent State's had all the answers for them on the defensive side of the floor. UMass just 10 for 29 from the floor. That's 34%. And they've got 12 turnovers on offense right now. They need an answer back.
UMass playing with the Gatorade symbol on right now. New offensive spark. DHS in the middle. Passed out to Carbuccia. Seen the double. Over to DHS. Hop step into the midi floater. Oh, that was a good take. It's just a little too strong. Now Medi taking the ball up. Guarded by Marcus Bank. Lepsy in the middle. Guarded by Clerk. Whaley. Operating on DHS. The left wing. Turnover. Post move into the foul. Whaley's going to the line.
Well, I don't think you can play more straight-up defense than what Hankins Sanford was doing. He's giving up about 60 pounds to Rob Whaley, and he was standing his ground pretty well and then went straight up when the shot came. But they called a foul on Hanford, and that's just a tough call for him.
Yeah, UMass has done a pretty good job containing Rob Whaley Jr. He only has 6 points, a little down on his season average of 10.5 points per game. He's usually shooting 51% from the field. We're not going to the
time for the UMass score.
under 16 media timeout. I'm Jonathan. This is Andrew. We'll catch you in a little bit. Welcome back to 91.1. My name is Jonathan Sheldon. I'm here with Andrew Samaha. We have Santa dancing on the jumbo screen. The score is now 42-29. Kent State leading. Can UMass get a fire, get a spark under them, or some Christmas miracle to get them back into this game, Andrew?
Well, I got to say, I've seen both Santa in the form of the Yes Man and the Grinch in the form of one of the dance team members out here today. So Christmas is in the air. This is the holiday game, I guess they're calling it, out here in Amherst. But yeah, UMass, they're in search of a Christmas miracle at this point with the way they've played on offense.
Well, with all the people in this crowd right now, I think all the fans of Minutemen just want a win for Christmas. Rob Willie going 1 for 2 in the free throw. Marcus Bank pass up to Danny Carbuccia. Carbuccia pass, taking the ball up, guarded by Wide Key. Over to Njenge to the wing. DHS back to Carbuccia. Inside to Dimitri Clerk, operating on Rob Whaley Jr. Throws it in and makes it. And he goes to the line.
Well, I got to say, I got a little nervous there when Dimitri Clark was grounding and pounding there in the paint. I thought there was no chance that ball was going in. He just threw it up there as he got some contact, and it kissed in off the glass. He got the foul against Whaley, so that's 4 on Rob Whaley. But we talked about it earlier. Now you got to send Dimitri Clark to the free throw line, and if you're any of those guys operating a camera down there, look out above you.
Oh, he made it opposite of the announcer's curse. UMass going with a full court press. Carbuccia looking at Safford. Over to Medley. Back to Wide Key. All the way. Dangerous pass to Safford to the left. Now Medley operating. Guarded by Marcus Banks. Safford back to Medley. Inside to Gillespie. Guarded by Dimitri Clerk. Spin move. Floater into the game. Hook shot into the bucket.
Well, Clerk just needs to meet Gillespie there a little too early. He was too decisive on whether he should go get him or watch the baseline, and he let Gillespie into the lane, gave him too much space, and that's just a free 2 points.
Marcus Bank operating up to Njenge. Open. No look pass of DHS. Operate on Gillespie. It's interesting forward. But no good. The Golden Flash were able to get the rebound, and Medley pushing the pace. Back out to Wide Key. Everywhere but in. It looks like a loose ball foul on DHS. 1-on-1.
Now the foul goes on Desmond Briscoe. Yeah, they called it over the back. The Kent State bench thought that they got that call in their favor. They had no idea the ref was pointing the other way. But very clearly, Briscoe just climbing over Hank and Sanford trying to grab the board.
Yeah, I've never seen a player more excited to get a foul called on him. Had me confused. Now, Danny Carbuccia taking the ball up.
Well, UMass in desperate search of offense. They've taken out Hank and Sanford. Now, Betty all back in the game with his 3 fouls because Hank and Sanford, he was forcing up some shots that he probably shouldn't have been putting up when the Minutemen need points right now.
Back into Betty, guarded by Gillespie. Hook shot. Oh, just a little too strong. Gillespie with the rebound to Medley, pushing the pace over to Safford. Got Njenge on the floor, in the air. Leonardo Bedio getting the loose ball. UMass going the other way. Carbuccia operating. There's a call 1-on-1.
They call a foul on Briscoe on the ground, fighting for positioning with Dimitri Clerk inside. So that's 2 quick ones on Briscoe.
And that's 5 fouls for the Golden Flashes this half. Only 2 on UMass. Marcus Bank getting ready to inbound. Over to KJ Parker. Operating. Guarded by Wide Key. Over to Njenge. Loses the ball. Dimitri Clerk in the top. Over to Bedio. Operate on Gillespie. Interesting footwork. Almost a walk, but instead he's about to get a foul call.
23, Delrico Gillespie.
A foul call called on Delrico Gillespie.
Well, Gillespie picking up his 2nd foul. UMass already drawing 6 fouls in the first about 6.5 minutes here of the first half. Betty all kind of just forcing that one up through contact, trying to get to the line. Now you just got to knock him down. UMass 7 for 12 from the line today.
And anything can happen in the college ball. I mean, they already have 6 foul calls as he makes the first one. 6 fouls called on the Golden Flashes. And you almost have Rob Whaley fouling out. So there still is life. There still is hope for this Minutemen's team. They just have to find a way to get the ball in the basket a little bit more.
Yeah, they're going to have to do it through the 3-point shot if they want it. That's their identity. That's what they did so well against BC and Florida State, and they've just shown no sign of life from the 3-point line from either of their 2 best shooters, in Banks and Parker.
He's haven't even taken that many threes to either. The defense has been amazing, honestly. Safford operated from the middle, wide key, guarded by a double team, shoots it over KJ Parker, in and out. Marcus Banks taking the ball up the other way, looking over to Bedio. Bedio fakes the handoff, now hands it off to Marcus Banks. Oh, great footwork. Leonardo Bedio is getting hot now. That's what you want from your graduate student from Italy.
And even if he's got 3 fouls, that's why you put him in the game. He's giving them some life on offense now, up to double-digit scoring, leading the Minutemen with 10 points, and it's down to a 10-point game with a turnover now for UMass.
The steal up to Dimitri Clerk, gets it, almost gets it. No. Edelman was able to block off the pass. Now Medley taking the ball up, guarded by KJ Parker. It's some pretty fancy handling. Almost loses it. UMass ball. Great hands. Good active hands by Leonardo Bedio. Great active feet by KJ Parker to make Medley lose the ball. Edelman leaving the game.
Yeah, Medley's a terrific ball handler, and he just gets a bit loose with it along the baseline there. Gives Bedial a chance to get his hands low. The 6'8", 6'9" Leo Bedial getting his hands in there against the 6'1" Medley, or the 5'11" Medley actually, and poking it away. And what a play by the grad senior.
KJ Parker hands it off to Njenge. Njenge with a good pass to Bedial, but he was held by Raekwon Griffin. He was held by Delrico Gillespie. That's Gillespie's 3rd foul and team's 7th foul. Now we're going to under 12-minute media timeout. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you on the other side. Welcome back. You're tuning into 91.1 radio. My name is Jonathan Charlier. I'm here with Andrew Samaha. It's now 45-35 Golden Flash lead. What have you been seeing this game?
Well, UMass is starting to come to life a little bit here in the second half. They're playing better defense. They've forced about 3 minutes now of Kent State to be scoreless, but they're still not really responding that well on the offensive side of the floor. They're drawing a lot of fouls. They've gotten Gillespie and Whaley in foul trouble, which is going to be huge for them down the stretch if they want to win the battle in the paint.
Yeah, the foul line slowing the game down might be the golden ticket the Minutemen have to win in this game. 7 fouls. Leonardo Bedio hits the first free throw. Now it's 36-45. He hits both of them. Now it's an 8-point game. UMass going with the half-court press, full-court press.
It's a very relaxed full court press. Just Jaden Jingay back there to chew up some clock. He caused a little more of a disturbance this time than I think even he was expecting, but Kent State does break it.
Break it into the Safford 3, which is a miss. Jaden Jingay taking the ball up, passes it to KJ Parker in the right wing. Guarded by Safford. Trying to get into one of the bigs. Gets it to Leonardo Bedio. He passes it over to Jingay. Nice pass inside to Bedio. Back to Njigay, but just overhits it. DHS fighting for the rebound. Waikiki gets the rebound. Now he's pushing the ball up with Safford and Griffiths. Now Medley having the ball at the big U.
Well, that was a much-needed bucket that UMass needed to get there from Jingay, and I think maybe there was a piece of that layup that got blocked. It didn't actually look like it. Jingay kind of just smoked it, and they really needed to have that, but they didn't get it.
Yeah, look, he just overshot it, and Waikiki still just cooking with a little bump fade layup over the bigger defender. KJ Parker taking the ball up the other side. DHS operating in the paint, almost loses the ball, has to pass it out, gets it back to KJ Parker, Marcus Banks, Jaden Jingay, now to Bedio. Great pass, great finish by DHS.
Bedial draws the double in the post, and Hankin Sanford with a nice backdoor cut to help him out. Bedial finds him, and Hankin Sanford struggled in the last few minutes with his shot attempts, but an easy layup there gets it to go. He's up to 9 points.
That's one of the easier shot attempts he's seen tonight. Marcus Bank guarding Medley. Medley operating the pick and roll. Over to Waikiki. Waikiki for the 3. In and out. He made his first couple of threes, but he's been in and out since then. KJ Parker getting hacked and fouled as he's going in for the layup.
And that's what we've been wanting from KJ Parker, more aggressiveness. He's the best free throw shooter on this team. He shoots 95% from the line, but he plays such a laxed style of basketball, so he never actually gets to the line to get the opportunities. He hasn't even attempted a shot yet today. This will be his first time getting a look at the rim at the free throw line and a chance to cut the lead to 6. This is big for the Minutemen.
Yeah, it was good. UMass definitely needed KJ Parker to get aggressive. Makes the first free throw. KJ Parker has only missed one free throw the entire season, Andrew, with that one. I hope I didn't discourage him, but 21-22 for the season off free throws. The lead is just 7 now. DJ Wembley in the game. Furton Jengay. Oh, no, not for
Marcus Sanford and Banks checked out. Carbuccia and Wembley in.
UMass is going quite small, and the crowd is in the uproar. It's a 6-point game with 10 minutes left. And this is the loudest I've heard the Mullins Center all day, Andrew.
Hey, maybe even all year. They're coming to life right now, trying to charge their boys up as they climb back into it.
Now, this game is definitely life. A game of 2 halves, which a UMass Minutemen game are usually. Williamson for 3, in and out. Carbuccia with the rebound, taking it up. Over to DJ Wembley. Back to Carbuccia. Operating the pick and roll. Back to Wembley. Wembley looking into Bedio. Bedio, Gillespie guarding Bedio.
Got to be ready for a double.
The double is not coming. Passes it over. One more to Carbuccia. And he could have just taken that. Back to Wembley. Back to KJ Parker. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And we have a 3-point game, 47-44 here with 9 minutes and 8 seconds left, and this crowd has just uproared like it's Mount Honolulu.
Now it's a real crowd environment here today. They've been a non-factor all day. We've been playing basically a neutral site game up to this point, but UMass coming to life on the floor, getting the crowd into it, and KJ Parker coming off a screen, a beautiful 3 on the fadeaway to cut the lead to 3. The closest that they've been ever since the lead really expanded on them. It's a 12-2 run, and UMass is having fun out there, Jonathan.
Yes, they are having fun. Like I was mentioning in the first half, they just weren't playing with life. I just want a quick message that this broadcast is brought to you by the 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with right box trucks rolling across New England, delivering foods rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers have provided a personalized food experience for every client. And won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestressfree.com or Instagram and Facebook. Let's get back into the game. Medley about to move, pass the ball into the game, and UMass is still in the lax full court press. We have Whitley as the top defender right now. Ball into Gillespie, back into Medley, over to Williamson, back to Medley.
Oh, great press across half court, but a timeout. Man, they had Medley dead to rights at half court. The second he crossed, Wembley, and I believe it was Carbuccio, were all over him. And just before he went over and back, they get the timeout off. But now that's 2 timeouts wasted by Kent State in the last 10 or 12 seconds. 9 seconds is what it was. They used 2 timeouts. So they only got 1 left for the rest of the game, and that's important because there's still 9 minutes to play.
So it's like Kent State is up, but UMass has all the resources, the fouls to give, the timeouts. All Kent State has is their more free-flowing basketball, but UMass Minutemen have found a way to close that up. The Quinn Key was on fire in the first half, slowed down. He's been chucking up the threes, but they have not been falling the way they were in the first half. And now, Minutemen have a chance to turn this into a celebratory entry in the MAC.
UMass isn't on a 5-game win streak for no reason. They enter today coming off the heels of those back-to-back ACC wins, and they're showing some fight in this second half that they didn't have in the first half and early in the second half. They've really needed this spark in the last 5 minutes.
Safford into Gillespie operating with a nice right-hand lay. It's now a 5-point game. Carbuccio going up with it. 49-44. Medio over to DJ Wembley. Back to KJ Parker. Guarded by Medley. Screen. Rejects the screen. Pump fake. Over to three-pointer by DJ Wembley Jr.
Wembley needed that more than anybody in this building has ever needed anything. He was shooting about 5% from 3 on the year. Confidence down the drain. Knocks in a big 3 from the corner to make it a 2-point game.
And he came in as a very high recruit, so there's a reason why Coach Fairmont came in playing him.
Well, Betty-All picks up a 4th foul. What a tough time for that to come when UMass has all the momentum. And it was kind of a ticky-tack foul. I don't know if it's one that really needed to be called, but boy, that hurts the Minutemen. Now Betty-All with 4.
And Jingle and Betty out the game. DHS and Dimitri Clark back into the game. Medley take the ball. Pass the ball in. Guarded by Clark. Gets it over to Gillespie. Back to Briscoe. Briscoe gets it to UMass ball. Great defensive pressure by Denny Carbuccio to get the turnover.
Carbuccio just hounding Briscoe. Briscoe asking for the push from the ref against Carbuccio. Doesn't get it. That ball just rolled out of bounds. And, I mean, Medley kind of just watched it go out of bounds. Maybe had a shot at it, but it's another Kent State turnover. They're up to 11 now after just having 4 in that first half.
Denny Carbuccio, the New York native, really shows you how much you can bring to a basketball court without scoring. 0 points but 4 assists and just bringing some great defensive plays here in the second half. Back to Carbuccio. Back to KJ Parker, guarded by Wide Key. Over to DHS with the midi. Just a little too strong. Gillespie with the rebound. Wide Key taking the ball up, slowing it down, seeing that he's outnumbered. Gives it to Medley. Medley calling for the screen. Safford slow with it, or doesn't want the screen. Back to Medley. Back to Wide Key, guarded by DHS. Back to Medley. Inside to Briscoe. Go. And one strong take by Desmond Briscoe.
And Briscoe, he's given up a lot of weight against Dimitri Clark. Clark's got about 40 pounds on him, and he just took it right to him. One dribble, went up with it into the body, got the contact, and a big and one for Kent State to take us to a 2-possession lead.
Yes, that was just good patience by Briscoe to really, just slow the defender into time to get that easy layup. I just want to take this moment to let y'all know that this broadcast is brought to you by the 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks rolling across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, the 5 College Movers have provided personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at MoveStressFree.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. We thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. There's 7:16 minutes left. It's a 51-47 lead for Kent State. UMass has rallied their way back into this game with heart and defensive plays, and just Kent State kind of going cold on the offensive side.
Well, UMass has been playing suffocating defense all game long, but Kent State at the end of the shot clock has really been hitting some daggers against UMass that was deflating UMass in the first half, but in the second half, UMass has been playing a good full 30 seconds of defense, and that's how they've climbed back into it, and they're starting to find their rhythm on the offensive side of the floor. If the three-point line's not working, they're going to the paint, and since they've started getting the paint touches, the three-point line's opened up, and Wembley and Parker got their threes. But on the other end, a great job answering in the second half by Delreco Gillespie, who's got 13 points to go with 16 rebounds on the game. We told you he's the nation's leading rebounder. That's going to continue after today. And he was just 2 for 10 in the first half. He's 4 for 4 in the second half, and he's really taking it to the Minutemen. They don't have an answer for him right now.
This has been playing a good game. And like we said, the UMass was not shooting the three ball well or often in the first half. They've only taken 2 in the second half, and they've made them. So if you can shoot efficiently and not often from three-point range, that's still going to be a big help. You mentioned that they needed the 3 points to get into the game. 13 and 16 for Gillespie, like you said. Kenny Parker really has come to life in the second half. 5 points in his first 5 points in the game, honestly.
Kent State's gotten great contributions in this game from their bench, specifically Quinn Widekey and Desmond Briscoe. Briscoe is a perfect 3 for 3 from the floor today with 6 points. Widekey, of course, was dominating that first half at 11 in the first half. He's got 13 total.
Briscoe makes the free throw. Carbusha getting ready to take the ball up. Pass it over to Daniel Hankins-Sanford. Operating. Over to Dimitri Clerk. Over to Danny Carbusha. A lot of movement. Marcus Banks looking for it. Gets it over to Marcus Banks in the top. Inside to DHS. Over to Danny Carbusha. They show the double team. Over to DHS. Pump. And UMass is starting to find a shot. 2 seconds to the... Oh! Marcus Banks with the buzzer beater 3. And we have a 2-point game. 52-50.
I mean, you want to talk about something to spark a team. How about that? 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Banks throws up a prayer, has his arm hit on the way up, and still finds a way to knock it down. But then picks up a tough foul on the other end of the floor.
Right. Minutemen turned nothing into something on that play in a position that really looked disgruntled. But like you said, a foul on the other side. It's going to be an inbound foul, so on the court.
Well, that's just UMass's 5th foul, so they've got one more to give before Kent State will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Something UMass doesn't do often is stay out of the penalty. They've done a good job today in the second half playing clean defense.
Medley operating. Pass it into... Oh, good hands. UMass suffering defense. Over to Widekey. Pump, sidestep, bottom.
Yeah, that's just a shooter getting into his spot there. Beautiful sidestep 3.
Right back. Oh, Marcus Banks tried to answer, but just a little too strong. Danny Carbusha pass it over to Marcus Banks. Looking around. Euro over to Danny Carbusha. Oh, just a little too strong. Dimitri Clerk with a big rebound and the putback.
Dimitri Clerk's been terrific off the bench for the Minutemen the last few games. He's been a big body in the paint. Now he's up to 7 points and 4 rebounds on the day off the bench.
Great defense by Dwayne Wembley Jr. to stop Gillespie. And Carbusha on the other side gets fouled. Great way to turn defense into offense by the Minutemen. And it's going to take Carbusha to the line.
Well, as promising as it might seem to have a guy like Carbusha at the line with his profile, free throws have been very tough to come by for him this year. A 23% free throw shooter. Never in my days did I think I would ever see a point guard with that low of a number at the line. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with that low of a number at the line. Not even the worst free throw shooters out there. So the freshman, I mean, if there's a moment for him to figure it out in college basketball, now's the time.
And he missed the first one. I think he figured it out. I think it's just a lack of free throws he's gotten because how much he just doesn't shoot the ball.
Yeah, it's definitely a lack of the sample size is definitely not there. He was just 3 for 13 before that free throw, but a lot of misses in big spots earlier in the year. But big confidence boost, I'm sure, to get the first one to go down there.
Yeah, the development of Danny Carbuccio over the next couple of years is going to be very interesting. Just being the starting point guard, but not scoring, just being actual pass-only point guard. Scoring is going to be a big part of his game. He missed the second one. He goes half and half, 55-53 with 5 minutes left in the game. Sanford passes it back to Sanford for 3. No good. Danny Carbuccio taking it off.
Hank Sanford.
Yeah, that's a good rebound. Carbuccio patrolling, getting aggressive now. Back to DHS.
UMass, big chance to tie or take the lead here.
Marcus Banks. Back to Carbuccio, guarded by Safford. UMass is playing slow right now, chewing some clock time. Good pass to Daniel Hankins Stanford. A little strong. Dimitri Clerk with a big rebound. And Danny Carbuccio just a little strong too. Oh, yes. And that's the foul by Daniel Hankins Stanford trying to get the rebound.
Well, the opportunities were there that possession for him. They got 3-point attempts from maybe 2 unorthodox places in Hank and Sanford and Carbuccio. Both had clean looks, both missed. Carbuccio's was wide open. The defender that probably should have gone to close out instead decided to go cover Marcus Banks to avoid the pass. And Carbuccio just unable to hit it, and he'll now sub out for KJ Parker.
The playmaking is good, but I think Frank Martin just wants a little bit more scoring and output. UMass just needs a bucket to get in the lead right now. UMass still with the full court press. Over the wide key. Double team by Marcus Banks and Njenge. Foul was called.
They called a timeout. They had wide key dead to rights. It was Banks and Njenge hounding wide key just over the line, and that's the last Kent State timeout. It turns into a full timeout for Kent State to their benefit, but no timeouts left in the game, and in a close game down the stretch, that's huge. They don't have the ability to talk it over anymore unless Frank gives them the opportunity.
4.5 minutes is going to hurt them, so if I'm Frank Martin, I'm going to keep pressing because it seems like they can't break the press every time without a timeout. They've broken it sometimes and gotten some good shots, but if you have to intensity, they could get a turnover, or force a turnover or 2. This could be a really winnable game off that defensive pressure. 53-55, UMass down right now. I just want to take a quick moment to let y'all know that this broadcast is brought to you by 5 College Movers, the official sponsor of UMass men's basketball on 91.1 WMUA. What began as a small family idea has grown into a business with bright box trucks going across New England, delivering moves rooted in values that never go out of style. For over a decade, 5 College Movers has provided a personalized moving experience for every client and won't rest until the job is done. You can find information at movestressfree.com or on Instagram and Facebook at 5 College Movers. Thank 5 College Movers for their kind support. Now, Andrew, as I was saying, UMass, Wide Key wasn't hitting his threes for the majority of this half. He hit a big one to get hot and give his team the lead again. What do you think UMass needs to do to finish off this last 4 minutes?
Well, they got to find Wide Key and make sure he's not getting any clean looks like he had on that wide open sidestep 3. Banks came flying in to close out. It was just a bit late, and when you give a shooter that much time and space, he's going to knock it down. So they got to locate him and make sure he's not getting alone and by himself like that, and they got to keep watch of Gillespie, who's had his way in the second half. Nobody else has really put a damper on them in this game other than those 2. So Gillespie, you got to step up on him sooner. Wide Key, find where he is, and on the offensive side of the floor, just keep taking quality looks. The shots will fall. Hank and Sanford's having a pretty tough day from the floor, just 4 for 14. Maybe keep the ball out of his hands down the stretch when you need a big bucket, unless he's open, because he's taking some contested shots today that have not gone his way.
Yeah, he has taken some crazy shots, but I admire the aggressiveness by Hank Sanford. Like, he has the opposite problem of KJ Parker or
and he's overall having a great game. I mean, 9 points, 9 rebounds, 3 of those 9 rebounds coming on the offensive glass in his 30 minutes. He's playing well. He's playing with good energy. Just the shots haven't been falling. And not to mention, Leo Bedial's a sleeping giant on the bench right now with 4 fouls. When Frank Martin decides to pull that trigger to come back in the game, that's another big offensive weapon back on the floor. They were rolling when he was out there.
Like I predicted, Rob Willie Jr. back into the game, too. He's at 4 fouls now, but he's been pretty dominant in the paint, too, for the Golden Flashes. Safford, back to Medley, back to Safford. Okay, now. Inside, over to Rob Willie Jr. Good take, but good strong defense by Dimitri Clerk.
Great help side defense by Clerk in the paint. He was going to go up on Hankins Sanford, who he had in the air, but Clerk was there to back him up in the 1-3-1 defense.
KJ Parker over to Jaden Jingay. Up to Clerk. Clerk looking. Back to KJ Parker. A good pass to Hankins Sanford, who just loses it but gets the rebound. And Marcus Banks with a strong take that was blocked. Now 2-on-2. Waikiki on KJ Parker and just had to foul him.
Parker's called for the foul. He turns to Frank Martin for a challenge. He wants it, but
if I'm Frank Martin, I am not challenging that.
yeah, Parker reached across his body to get the block, so I'm not sure that's one that he's definitely not going to use the challenge on it. It's a tough call there, but I mean, UMass had 2 chances on the offensive side of the floor. Hankins Sanford just smoked the layup, had a clean look at it, might have just lost it on the way up, and then Banks got into the paint and had his shot rejected by Gillespie, which is just tough.
Yeah, I think someone needs to wipe the foot off the ball or something for Hankins Sanford there. Now, Medio back into the game for Dimitri Clerk. He's still at 4 fouls. Rob Willie Jr.'s at 4 fouls. As a team, Kent State's at 9 fouls. Waikiki misses the second free throw. 56-53. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left. And KJ Parker called a timeout.
UMass, they need to talk over this possession. This is a huge possession for them. They've been sitting in this 2 to 4 range, trailing for a while now, and they haven't been able to quite get over that hump. But that was a big missed free throw by Waikiki. Opens the door for them a little bit to draw up a good offensive play. They've got Bedial back on the floor. You become so much more dynamic on offense when Bedial's out there, because even though he's got 4 turnovers and he averages about 3 a game, he's still such a good passer. He's got 3 assists today, and when the ball's in his hands, everybody's eyes are on Bedial, and that opens up the perimeter to get your shooters out on the floor and open look. And when you're down by 3, I'm sure that's what Frank Martin's thinking, is getting a paint touch for Bedial here. That's where I would go with it if I was him. And even if it doesn't end up in a 3, Hankins Sanford can backdoor cut. Jingay can get in there. Anybody can really – the whole floor is so opened up when Bedial gets the touch on the floor.
That's smart. Yes, and when Rob Willie Jr. back into the game, it might be smart to get a paint touch early on and get him that fifth foul. Because that would be a great help. As soon as he's back into the game, UMass is not finding any ways to score inside the paint anymore.
And if you're UMass, if you get to the free throw line, you just have to knock them down at this point of the game. They're 13 for 20 from the line today, which is 65%. On the season, they're shooting just 64.8%, which is in the bottom 30 of the country. I mean, it's just year after year, the bad free throw shooting plagues them. But late in the game, that's going to be the key. If they can make their free throws, they'll come out victorious. But so far, we haven't seen it.
Make free throws and hustle plays. Ball inbounded to KJ Parker, who passed it to Hankins Sanford, to Jaden Jingay, to Bedio in the middle. Bedio operated on Gillespie. Good footwork. Blocked by Gillespie. And it's off of Bedio. The ball would turn over. Kent State ball.
Well, that's just great defense by Gillespie. One of the best defensive players in the conference.
And we see KJ Parker hyping up his teammate Bedio. Keep your head in the game. Wide key operating on Marcus Banks over to Medley. He's taking his time. Back to Waikiki. Back to Medley. Over to Sanford. Inside to Gillespie. Oh, that's a good pass to Rob Willie Jr. who hits the layup and one. As soon as that pass was inside, as soon as he made that pass, that was too late. The guy's too big to let him get that deep.
Yeah, Hankins Sanford late on the rotation on defense there to Whaley. Just a good high-low between Gillespie and Whaley. And that's now 4 fouls on Hankins Sanford. So both your bigs, Hankins Sanford and Bedial, with 4 fouls. And Down by 5 with 3 minutes. Of course, this game is not over, but with the way that UMass has been playing on offense, this and one hurts you big time.
Yes, 5 points. There's a lot of points in this game. Now it's a 6-point game with 3 minutes. Katie Parker over to Daniel Hankins Sanford. Jaden Jingay is leading on Arbedio. UMass needs a big bucket here. Great pass inside to Jingay. Triple team over to DHS, who whips the layup right at the paint. Marcus Bank with the full court press. Oh, and Medley was smart and drew the foul.
Yeah, that's twice now Medley's taking that Jalen Brunson approach of once I get in front of you, I'm just going to let you bowl me over. And he was getting a couple screens there from his big on the way up the floor. Banks just trying to hound on defense, picks up his second foul,
Good intensity by Marcus Banks, but just a little too out of control and just plays right to the trap. Now Medley's about to get free throw attempt. Medley's at 4 points. His first free throw attempt is off. He gets his own rebound. Over to Waikiki, who lets it fly, misses it. Jaden Jigget with a good rebound, who's pushing the pace. Katie Parker over to DHS. Strong dunk by DHS.
That's big for UMass. They need that momentum shift right back. The missed free throw, you give up the offensive rebound. You're lucky Waikiki misses the three, and Hankins Sanford just ferocious on the other end.
Jaden Jigget almost... Marcus Bank with the loose ball, and Jiggy pushing the pace. Over to KJ Parker. KJ Parker sets his feet. 3-pointer, no good. Leonardo Bello fighting for the rebound. Waikiki gets the rebound.
Well, that was your chance right there. Under 2 minutes left. You had the three to cut it down to one, and Parker just couldn't take advantage of the open shot.
Medley slowing the game down. Guarded by Marcus Banks. Back to Leipzig. Loads up a three. Bottom. 62-55 with a minute 30 left.
Well, that one feels like, Medley is hobbling straight to the Kent State sideline. He's in a lot of pain as he's going
all the way
straight to the bench.
And
he hits the deck.
Looks like an ankle. He's taking off his shoes. Might be an ankle or a calf. Maybe a cramp.
Yeah, I've felt that pain before, and I've made that hobble to the sideline before. That definitely looked like a cramp. He was just running. It was like a running hobble over to the bench. We hope he's all right, and that's nothing more than a cramp.
Prayers out to you and Medley.
Well, my playing days are over, Jonathan.
Okay. Jaden get ready.
That's why I watch with the microphone on now.
Me too. Now KJ Parker operating. Marcus Banks, guarded by Hermano. Over to DHS. No good.
Yeah, DHS jump shots right now is just not the move for the Minutemen. He's now 5 for 18 from the floor. You've got to look somewhere else on the offensive side of the floor, and UMass picking up a foul on the rebound attempt too.
I appreciate UMass's trust in their senior captain.
His third, team's 10.
If he's not scoring, if he's not hooping for real, you got to do one more pass.
Well, Banks picked up the foul, so 3 on him, and that's now the double bonus for Kent State. So guaranteed 2 free throws for Gillespie, who has surprisingly not taken a free throw yet today, despite all the shot attempts.
Oh, and Mendy's back. Mendy's good.
Must have just been a cramp in that case.
And he got massaged up.
Number 1, Sion Bentley into the game
By
for
the
Kent
trainer.
State.
Now the score is 63-55 as
Daniel Hankins Sanford.
some of the UMass fans are slowly making their way out the game. And this crowd is sounding more like the first half again, Andrew.
Well, UMass had their chance to – they got the crowd into it, and then they went completely flat on offense. They're 1 for their last 9 from the floor in the most important part of the game.
Maybe he's tired legs from those crucial ACC wins. But UMass just did not come out playing at a high level. Danny Carbuccia operating. Good. Oh, a good pass attempt to Leonardo Belli, just a little too low. I'm not mad at it. That's a good pass attempt. Medio was wide open in the middle.
Yeah, Jingay just missed him. Betty all wide open in the paint all by himself, and Jingay with a hard bounce pass that just skipped right behind Betty all. No chance.
Another steal. Oh. Marcus Bank with a Kareem-esque hook shot. No good.
The Kent State foul is on.
Bettiol was fouled on the
That's his third.
rebound
Team's
attempt, so
10th.
Bettiol is going to head to the line. Clock stops and a chance for 3 points for UMass that they're going to need to take advantage of if they want any chance down the stretch here.
Now the game is back up to 9-point differential. 8-point differential as Leonardo Bettiol hits the first free throw. 64-56. Is there any chance that the Minutemen can get back into this one?
Well, it's going to take a lot. You know, they're going to need a Christmas miracle to get back in this one. They have not been scoring well on the offensive side of the floor, and on defense, well, they're just going to keep fouling and hope Kent State misses their free throws. Well,
Ever since the Grinch made her debut in the first half, I think the Grinch stole the Christmas miracle for UMass today. Now, the Golden Flash is just wasting time. UMass is still prowling, double teaming, playing hard. Another foul is called on Bettiol.
That'll be Bettiol's fifth. He was trying to force the jump ball, but he was reaching around with his arm right in front of the ref, and yeah, they're just going to give him the foul for that. So 5 on Bettiol, and well, Placid off the bench for the first time since the first half. He gave him good life in that first half. I'm surprised he didn't get more minutes today.
A quick 4 points, yeah, especially when they were down 255-53. That could have been a good time to put him in.
Number 4, Isaiah Placid into the game.
He's in now with a 7-point
Replacing Leonardo Bettiol.
deficit. 42.8 seconds left, 64-57. Makes the first one. Gaffer does, 65-57.
Very small ball lineup for UMass right now. Jaden Jingay, the center, on the floor at 6'4".
Misses the second one. Karbusha has the ball, taking it up. UMass is still fighting. There's a foul called wide keep.
Trying to fight through I believe a Jingay screen. It was just pushing Jingay along with him. And right in front of the ref once again. Another one of these players picking up a foul. It's hard for the ref to ignore it.
Number 24, Marcus Banks at the line. Shoot 2.
Or it's Banks' screen, excuse me, not Jingay's.
Well, this stops the clock and gives UMass a chance to put 2 more in the basket. He hits the first one.
Well, a bright spot for UMass today. Banks 5 for 5 from the free throw line.
Yeah, but 1 for 9 from the field goal.
Yeah, his shooting wasn't there today, but he's been making his free throws.
He makes both
Number
of them.
25, Dimitri Clark into the game for UMass.
59-65.
Replacing
It
Isaiah
would a
Placid.
steal or an empty free throw attempt by the Golden Flashes and a couple big threes is possible. But UMass is going to need the basketball Santas to bless them with this one. Doesn't look like that way. Karbusha is trying to get the foul. To the extra 3 seconds out the clock there from the first time he put his hands on wide key.
Well, Kent State had no timeouts left, and UMass just Dimitri Clark on the floor, not very mobile, just lets Gillespie get the inbound in, and those are the times you got to take advantage of. I think they got to go with the more athletic lineup for defensive purposes to try and not allow that inbound in. Kent State can't call the timeout. Could have struggled to let them struggle to get the ball in bounds, but you get the free inbound, and then from there, Weidke made a nice athletic play against Karbuchia to go up and get the ball, and well, now he's at the free throw line.
And he makes the first one. Like he's now 2 from 3 from the free throw line. A charity stripe, as you will. 6-7. The score is now 67-59 with 28.4 seconds left.
How long have you been waiting for that one?
Since it was 65. Karbusha now with the ball. Golden Flash with a soft press. Karbusha operating. Over to Marcus Bank for the 3. No good. And that should do it.
Yeah, that'll probably do it for UMass. I mean, that was your last ditch effort there for Marcus Banks to try and, put one in and spark some random miracle that could occur. But I would say 16 seconds down by 8 is unlikely.
I like the tenacity of the Minutemen, if you will. I mean, still fouling, still trying to push something, but I don't know. The lead's getting bigger and bigger with each free throw each time.
At Kent State, 73% from the free throw line, 11 for 15 on the day. They're starting to put away UMass at the line, and UMass on the other side of the floor, 1 for their last 11. That's just unacceptable during the closing phases of a game when you're trying to come back in the game. Nobody's stepping up and making the big shot. Everybody kind of shrunk in the big moment tonight for UMass.
I mean, in the second half, UMass was shooting pretty good from free throw line, 12 from 15. It was that first half when nothing was going for them. Carbucci just left it just a little short. And with that, the Minutemen will concede and not try to foul again. The game is now over, 69-59, and UMass Minutemen dropped to 8-4. That's the Golden Flashes going 10-3, 10-2.
UMass's first game in the MAC ends in a loss. I mean, they had a 5-game win streak coming into today, and they just came out flat. The shots weren't falling, maybe a bit of a hangover from the BC and Florida State games. And then they had a week off before they came into this Kent State game. Kent State was coming off a loss against Portland on the road. It was their first road game of the year they played, and they lost it. They came in today hungry and wanting this win. They were just the better team today, plain and simple. They were led by Gillespie and Weidke today, who finished with 18 and 19, respectively. Gillespie, 20 rebounds on the day to go with 2 blocks as well. I mean, what a day for him. He had a great second half for Kent State. And for UMass, Betty all finished with 14. That was really the only plus from the game. Haken Sanford did have quietly a double-double, 11 points and 12 rebounds, but 5 for 18 from the floor, just couldn't get anything to fall. And the guards had a tough day. Banks, Parker, and Carbuccia combining for just 13 points. They need more from those guys going forward in the MAC.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it was just tire legs from those big ACC games, because it wasn't that they were making shots and missing them. It was just the passages from the guards that was really getting to me in the first half. But yeah, I've been Jonathan Charlieu. This was Andrew Samaha. Thank you for tuning in to 91.1 WMUA. We'll catch you in the next one.
And before we go, real quick, 2 days from now, on Monday, UMass will be back here at the Mullen Center taking on UMass Boston in a D3 matchup for UMass. So that should be an easy win for UMass as they head in to the real slate of conference play. UMass, of course, now 0-for-1 in the MAC. Kent State 1-0 to lead the Mid-American Conference. We'll see if UMass can bounce back. As for Kent State, they're going to go play their toughest game of the year on the road on December 29th. They will play the Purdue Boilermakers, one of the best teams in the country. So we'll see how that result turns out for them. But we thank you for listening to this broadcast of UMass basketball. I've been Andrew Samaha, signing off for Jonathan Charlieu. And we're saying so long and see you later from Amherst.